Hello everybody. In today's video, I'm going to ask a question. What if atheism is a religion? Because here's the thing. It's basically a spectrum within a spectrum within a spectrum. It's a spectrum within itself because some people are more atheist than others. Some people lack the belief in God or gods. Well, let's define atheism. Someone who just lacks the belief in God or gods. Now, they might deny it completely, some don't really deny it at all, and some just don't believe in any particular god, or they may believe in God or gods, but they don't worship them, so they have no reason to, believe in them spiritually speaking in some way. But generally, I would say atheists, if you're just going through the spectrum, on this level, is just somebody who lacks the belief in God or gods, and or gods, depending on how you define it. Anyway, let me think. Yeah, there's that spectrum of, are you in more of that kind of atheist or less? And then it gets into a spectrum of, your culture, your society, also can include politics or other forms of religion or sports or really anything. What gender you're born in, what skin tone you have, what ethnicity you're associated with, many other things as well. There are a lot of things you can put there. But anyway, that's another spectrum. And then the third spectrum is, after those two, who are you personally? Individually speaking, do you believe in individuality? Do you believe in collectivism? Do you believe in communism? Do you believe in capitalism? Do you sort of have a mix? Do you not believe in anything? Do you not have any particular belief? Or are you something else entirely? There are many things. But here's one thing for sure. You're not perfect. Neither am I. Okay? You have the ability to lie, and so do I. You have the ability to tell the truth, and so do I. Okay? That's another thing. And the thing about atheism is it's one of those things where, because a lot of people's definition of religion is basically, in a lot of parts of the world, not all, but in a lot of parts of the world, is whatever gods or gods you worship, and the strict rules or somewhat strict rules of whatever it says in their holy book of whatever gods or god they worship. And the most famous of this is the three Abrahamic religions, which is Christianity, the big boy, Islam, the even stricter big boy, and then Judaism, the old little great grandpa from Saturday, or should I say Sunday, because Saturn, I guess, but that's not the point. The point is that they're basically, Judaism became the famous religion for one godism, I guess you could say, and then that inspired what is now Christianity and Islam. And those two religions became the more dominant ones, and especially Christianity. And because of it, you have a lot of people who are, when it comes to religion, are a part of one godism. What is one godism? Exactly what it means. It means a religion that has one particular god that they believe in. And the problem with that is, basically, Christians, not all Christians, but there are a lot of Christians, Muslims, basically any religion like that has strict rules. To an extent, basically, they'll look at any religion that has God or gods, they'll look at it and go, oh, there's this one particular god that I'm going to call this creator god or something, And this defines the whole religion, especially when it comes to gods that have multiple gods, like Hinduism, for example. They'll look at this one particular god and then define that as that whole religion because they have one particular creator god in theirs, you know? And because of it, basically they're just trying, like every religion has a group of whatever specific sect or denomination they're a part of, whatever, you know, version of that religion they believe in. There's going to be one group of people that basically sees every other religion and every other version of their religion just copying them in some way. Like they'll think that they're just the true one. Now, that doesn't mean all religions are like this, but there's at least the majority, okay? There's at least like one person that does that in most religions. Now, I did probably say all, but what I mean by all, I mean all majority religions usually. Of whatever country you may be from, if there is such a thing, if you want to go that way. But that's a whole another thing that you can go look up online. Anyway, atheism. Atheism is the lack of belief in God or gods. You know what? It isn't the lack of spirituality, because the thing about atheists is because spirituality is associated with God or gods, they think that they can just, oh, if that means God or gods, oh, can't have spirituality no more. But not exactly, okay? Spirituality, let's define this in a way. Spirituality is more of, what do you believe is, like, are you faithful to? Like, what do you believe is true, you know? What do you believe is the reality of the world? Are there just some things that can be explained? Are there things that can't be explained? And how so and why? It's like there needs to be an explanation of, if I can't explain this, why can't I explain this? Is it just meaningless? Is it just, you're not in touch with the Tao or whatever? I don't know. I can't tell you because I can't give you that answer. What I can give you is that atheism can be a religion if it wants to be. But the problem is you would have to basically redefine the word religion. And the word religion, at least in my time period, which is on the same day when this video gets released, that word is becoming very liquid. As in, it doesn't have a clear definition. And it probably never really will, It might have seemed that way 1,000 years ago. But I'm not your 1,000 years ago. Anyway, yeah, it's constantly changing, especially in my time period. So who knows? If you just shifted enough, you could make atheist a religion. And if so, if you plan to do that, how do you suppose that would work? How do you suppose that would make it? I don't think Reddit would get involved, though. Because Reddit, despite making certain rules or whatever with that new aged atheism, they're not exactly something you could put on a real, true definition of atheism. They're more of a stereotype than they are reality. Okay? That's what Reddit atheists are. They're more of a stereotype. Okay? Because they don't represent atheism and they don't represent the majority of atheists. Okay? And I know that because I am a semi-atheist. Okay? Because according to current modern atheism is not a religion. So, yeah. Because of that, I'm not exactly of the atheist group. But if it does get pushed out enough, if the definition does change enough, there will and can, if possible, be a future where atheism could possibly be a religion, because people still want community, they still want a group to belong to. So it's very much possible. It's just they won't be doing it like other groups will. It's just more of a community thing than it is a of the faith thing, I guess you could say, because I don't know, that's more of privacy. But don't get me wrong, I don't think religion is useless. Obviously, I've gone through many religions. I don't know about you, but that I have, and throughout my experience, religion is not really useless. It's just one of those things where it's like you can believe it, but you don't have to. And when it comes to religion, just because somebody's religious doesn't mean they're dumb. Okay? Or just because somebody's non religious doesn't mean they're dumb. And the reason why is because, well, it's more of how would you define the meaning of life rather than how would you define math, so to speak. Those kind of things. Those are kind of separate from it. So, and even if they were together, it would be obvious, this way and that way. But it's not. So there's not really a big thing there. And yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But what do you think? Do you have an opinion? Do you have any thoughts? You can make them if you want, but that's up to you. Anyway, yeah, that's how I'm going to, at least for now, answer the question, what if atheism is a religion? Anyway, I'm out of here, and just remember, stay ugly.